All right, and welcome back. It's time for another episode of Conversational Questions. I'm Justin.
Matty Dubs here again.
Matty Dubs on the guest mic. And you know, it's funny because I'm like, I'm going to get different guests and stuff. And then it's like, back again. Here's Matty Dubs.
I have many personalities.
Yeah. I mean, but don't we all? Hope everybody's having a great... for us, it is but 2 days away from Christmas. Yeah, it's Christmas Eve at the moment. You may be listening to this at a different time, but either way, I hope you're having yourself a good night. And we're going to ask some questions. If you're new to this podcast, what we do is I pull some questions from it. It's actually called Table Topic Questions. And it's just questions that are meant to make you think, meant to make you like really put some effort into your answer, and it's
really reflect on some of these questions.
Oh yeah,
very introspective.
And the great thing is we can always go back over some of the ones we've done down the road, because I mean you might answer it totally different in the future. So, but without further ado,
people change, they grow. It's not always a bad thing.
Now we're going to start out. We're just going to get right into it. So the first question, Matt, is what would you do differently if you knew no one would judge you?
See, I mean, what do I do, like where it seems like I care what people think?
Well, I mean, last week when we were talking about celebrities, or whoever, you were constantly worried that they would just be not on your level and make you feel stupid.
Well, from what I understand, like, it's not good to meet people like that you really admire. Well,
they do say don't meet your heroes, but a totally different reason, though. You know, like the reason they say that is because they might not be what you thought they were, whereas your fear is that they're going to, like, laugh at you. So what would you do differently in life if you didn't think you would get judgment for it?
You know, well, I know you and Ashley for sure both know that I always feel bad, like trying, like if I feel like I'm going to disappoint somebody, I would rather tell you what you want to hear than actually say what's.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be something to improve on.
Yes, it is. But if I feel like I don't know, that's like, I guess something I'd want to do without like I'm being judged or that's a fair. You'd rather answer. You'd rather be honest with people, even if it meant hurting their feelings. Versus it's tough. I hate.
I can tell you though.
Hate conflict.
Most of us would much rather hear, "Man, I can't make it tonight."
I know.
Then yeah, I'll be there, and then you don't. So that's a good answer actually. Mine would probably be I would probably sing more. I love.
I've heard him sing. Don't do it.
You have never heard me sing.
We have belted,
and that's exactly why. Because I feel like I don't feel like I have a voice that would give me a career by any means. But I think it's definitely doable, and it's like I'm just so worried, I guess, that people will crush me when I do it that I never will do it.
To me, like that would be like the, I don't know, like I would be like, I am conflicted. If I had a voice for radio, but I didn't have a voice for radio, if you catch my drift.
I don't. What are you trying to say?
So you have a voice to talk on the radio, but like you don't have a voice to sing on the radio.
You don't know that.
I do know that.
You've never heard me sing?
Yes, I have.
When?
I've heard you sing.
When?
We've been in your truck or my truck, and we've been...
Oh, my God. That does not count. Singing to a song going down the road does not count. Not one bit.
To me, it counts.
But it doesn't.
It counts.
It does not. A voice like mine, I have to belt. I have to actually really use the diaphragm and project. You can't judge me when I'm riding down the road and I'm singing in a falsetto to a song like, that's not singing. That's humming with words.
Fair enough. All right. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on that one.
I mean, like, and also, too, that's the thing. I can't sing low because this is what happens to my voice if I try to. So I have to do, like, if I'm singing along like Matt and Kim and be like, I'm glad I tried. Because I can't quietly be like, I'm just glad I tried. I just can't do that. My voice cracks with that. So if I want to sing, I have to get.
Song, by the way.
I'm glad I'm tried. It's one of my favorite ones to do. All right, so here's number 2. Is it possible to lie without saying a word?
Yes, I believe it is. Like, let's say I ask you a pretty damning question and it takes you a second to answer. Like, you kind of like look away suspiciously. Like, you're thinking of a way. Like, I know that you're not gonna tell me the truth.
I feel like it's in expressions too.
Yeah, I feel like it's very nonverbal communication can be expressed by lying.
Oh, yeah, I 100% think that you can mislead someone by your facial expressions and
like if I'm lying, I look suspicious as hell.
Yeah, you squirm.
I really do.
You squirm. If you lie, you squirm.
God, yes, I do.
But I agree. I think that you can totally mislead someone just by your facial expressions. I mean, even something as simple as like pretending to like something you don't. Like you could try somebody's cooking and you don't have to be like, oh, that's delicious. You can just, you know, and it's like right there, you're telling them you like it, but you don't. So do you ask enough questions or do you settle for what you know?
Say it again. Do I ask enough questions or do I settle for like what is that asking?
Basically saying like in life, do you ask enough questions to get to the bottom of something or do you just kind of settle for what you do know?
I think a bit of both. It depends how much effort do I want to put into whatever I'm trying to figure out.
You know damn well the answer for me. I ask the questions.
Yeah, you will.
I'll grill your ass in a heartbeat. Like I don't think twice about and also too, man, I'm in sales. I mean, sales is 80% listening, 20% talking. So I am used to asking questions to get the customer to talk, to understand what it is they need from my company.
This SOB will probe the crap out of you.
100%. I've always said I'd be a damn good detective because I will ask you every question possible.
I always the new gals that I have at work, I tell them like listen, like there is nothing you guys cannot do like that I will not find out about if I want to. Like, if I think it's worth the time or the effort, like, there's nothing you guys cannot do that I will not find out if I want to.
Every step you take. Yeah.
I'll be watching.
And no, that's not singing. That's a bullshit falsetto.
That was him singing.
I don't want to hear it. My God, I had no clue that singing along the songs on the way to hiking was being judged.
Time. I was taking notes.
So hardcore.
I was taking notes. I'm like, so, okay. I'll see.
Even if I sing bad, I think I have to sing better than you.
Oh,
I mean, I feel like I could just do Johnny Cash impersonations and sing a little better than Matty Dubs. You're smarter than me. I'll give you that one. But I don't. I think you are.
Do I exude the confidence that I feel that I know things? Listen, half the shit like I look at on Google like literally 5 seconds prior to the conversation.
You're like, what do I think Justin's going to talk about tonight?
It's very, very superficial information.
No, I give you the intellect. I get to have the singing, damn it. I think that's fair.
But I will admit, I'm not afraid to admit that my intellect is mainly superficial.
No, I think you're a genuinely smart guy. I think you're a lot smarter than you give yourself credit for.
With very low self-esteem.
You are. That's 100%. You are an extremely intelligent person who has a very low point of self-esteem. Like you need to work on that. Like if there was one thing I think you should work on for yourself, it would definitely be your confidence. All right. So speaking of confidence and all of that type of stuff, are you holding on to something that you need to let go of?
Oh man, probably.
Any examples?
What is that thing?
Virginity.
That other picture I sent you this morning. I wished I will never die a virgin. Then the genie grants him immortality. I see what you did.
You bastard. But so no, what are you holding on to that you need to let go of? I mean, I feel like every human being is holding on to something that they could benefit from letting go.
I can't think of what that something is.
I mean, did someone wrong you?
Maybe.
Like, has someone wronged you in life and, like, you've just never let it go? Like, it could hinder you in certain aspects, whether it be, like, other friendships or trusting or anything like that?
Man, nothing comes to mind. Do you have any?
Oh, yeah. And I know this is not acceptable for the show, and I would 100% bitch at you if you said this, but the things that I have, that first come to mind, so there are some things that I will not bring up on the podcast, but as far as things that I will bring up, I think just getting wronged by people. I think I need to do better at learning to just let that go.
I always I myself, like, I try to think people like aren't like doing something to intentionally get at me. It's just them just making a mistake. Like there was no malice going into whatever they did to like it was not done on purpose to try to aggravate me or really wrong me.
Well, and a lot of times I think you're exactly right. I don't think that people are trying to do you wrong. They just do. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like, I mean, and sometimes, yes, but I mean, I feel like sometimes if someone cancels on you really quickly, or someone, just does something you don't appreciate. I think 9 times out of 10, it has to do what's best for them more so than trying to upset you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, you have some assholes out there who 100%
there are, yes,
just want to get at you or just want to ruffle your feathers. But I've also like, I saw like a subreddit one time inside of something, and it was, asking like, what are some facts of life people really need to understand? And one of them was so true. It was like, we're so worried about people judging us, but most people are too self-absorbed to take any time to judge you. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I think I need to learn to, and I need to learn to, on the same note, I need to let go of that because I need to stop taking it so personal. Like you just said, you take it immediately like as if this person has
slighted you.
To you.
Yeah, they were, it was just out to get you, specifically you.
When in reality, a lot of times it's just because they were lazy. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of times it's just they didn't feel like doing something, or they didn't feel like holding up their end of a bargain, and it was not to wrong you. Or see, the way I look at it is, I'm like, this person thinks so. Whereas I don't think that they're out there doing it to get at me. I look at it as they think so little of me that they just have no problem doing that to me.
Now, if they do it time and time and time and time again, like if it's on a consistent basis, then yes, then I would be fine holding on to something like that.
But that's the point of this. We're not supposed to hold on to that.
Not supposed to.
Not supposed to. So when it's all said and done, will you have said more than you've done?
Probably.
I mean, I think this pipe dream of like doing everything you set out to do, like, it just does not happen for the majority of the population. It'd be great.
Yeah, sometimes it's like even just kind of saying like I want to do something, like, you never do it, like just the fact that you want to do it at least feels like something.
Oh yeah, it's like if I was to say, man, I really would like to see the Northern Lights. That doesn't mean I have to go do it.
You're gonna pay a couple $1,000 to go up to the Arctic Circle and see that.
Yeah, I feel like most people on this planet will have said more than they've done.
Of course, yeah.
I mean, you got some exceptions, but I do think that applies to most of us.
It does not apply to the rule, though.
Would you rather have this is a good one. This is the one. This is the one that I was like, oh, I got to ask that for Matt just because of all of your, your inner turmoil you're going through that is work related. Would you rather have less work or more work that you enjoy doing? So like if I said, Matt, here's what I can do. I can snap my fingers and one of two things is going to happen. You're going to keep your job, but you're going to work significantly less hours. Or I'm going to snap my fingers and you're going to be working more than you are now, but it'll be a job that you 100% love.
See, now here is the opposite of that question. Like who here loves to work?
Then I think that we know the answer. I think then yours would be the second one, because they say if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. So if you are working more, but you love what you do, then you're truly like this. Like this. I love doing this. And if this was my career path, it would not feel like I was getting that I was working, because you know I would podcast every day if I could. So more work if I was doing this would be my choice, because I actually love to do it. And if I'm getting paid a lot of money for it, then that's just an added bonus. So you got to look at it like that. You would be working a job that you would be as passionate about as I am, like broadcasting.
Like I get what you're saying, but like I feel like that question couldn't be answered like that. I think that question alone could be its own its own podcast. Well,
let's get into it then, because that was one I specifically wrote down for you, and I will be damned if you're going to dodge it.
So to answer the question simply, for what you're asking, the simple answer is I would want to work less, because I enjoy what I do, But like the fact.
So like you like hiking, not to cut you off, but you like hiking. So if I told you, hey, you can either work less at the job you have, or you'll start getting paid to go hiking. You're going to have to do more hiking, but you'll get paid to go hiking. You wouldn't enjoy that?
There's a day that I don't want to hike. Like, what if my legs hurt, or it's cold outside, or it's blah. Like, there's some reason like that. Just like, man, it just does not sound appealing today. Like, there's days where I have a lot of fun at my job now, but there's days like where I just feel like I get beat into the ground.
Then I would tell you to stop being a little bitch and get your ass up that mountain. It's that simple. See, I'm the opposite. I would totally pick. And there's no right answer in this. You feel the way you feel. I feel the way I feel. I would 100% pick more work at a job, at a career that I love, which, I mean, I like what I do now, but if it was something like this, or somebody was like, hey, we really enjoy your insight on hiking. We want to pay you to go hiking and then, write about your experiences on each trail. That's something that you would have to keep me from doing, because if I could go 5 or 7 days a week, I'd do it. And it's not saying you have to work 24/7 your whole life. It's just saying you will work more hours than you are now. But like, if it's something I love, it wouldn't feel like work. Like, imagine if someone's passion was playing Call of Duty. Like, they love playing Call of Duty. And someone said, hey, I can give you less hours working at Food Lion. Not saying that Call of Duty players would work at Food Lion. I'm just giving an example. I can give you less hours at Food Lion, or I can pay you to play Call of Duty, but you're going to have to play Call of Duty more than you're working at Food Lion right now. I feel like if they, that's just my thoughts on it. I feel like it just depends on how passionate you are about what you do. Like, look at Elon Musk. That guy works probably 24/7, but he loves what he does. Like, that literally is his life. Like, I don't feel like he ever feels like, boy, I wish I could have a day to step away. I think it's the opposite. He goes on vacation and he's just like, man, I really need to get back to the office. So it really just depends on the person.
Yeah. For me, if we're defining work, I would say I'd want to work less. Like, I really like what I do. I feel like what I do makes a difference in a lot of people's lives. But for me, I feel like that question's just a little too loaded.
Matt's a prostitute, by the way.
I am a prostitute.
He sells his body for money.
I really do.
To which I have no disrespect for the sex and people that work in the sex industry.
Justin's actually my top paying customer.
I am. He's so good. All right. Well, since the one question I thought that you would enjoy the most.
It's too loaded for me.
It was too much for you. So, dear God, let's move on to something more Matt speed. What's your favorite color?
Technically two. I've always liked blue, and I've always liked silver.
I would say mine would be green and silver, though. I've always liked, and I do like blue, but I've always liked green.
Metallic gray, that's silvery.
I do like silver, absolutely. All right. Would you rather be a worried genius or a joyful simpleton?
Joyful simpleton.
Yeah, because ignorance is bliss.
Yeah,
so
existence is misery.
I guess
is bliss.
And you're smart now. So my thing would be, if you knew you were once smart and you became dumb, then I don't think you'd enjoy yourself. But I guess in this question, you never were intelligent. You just have been.
Flowers for Algernon. That's a great story.
What is that?
You never read Flowers for Algernon?
I don't think I did.
Give
me a short synopsis.
So short synopsis. So these scientists were doing tests on this lab rat. His name was Algernon. And I can't remember what the dude's name, but he was a very simpleton type dude. Like, he was a really nice, very sweet dude. Very easy to take advantage of, too, because he didn't know better. But these scientists developed this medicine that made you smart, but it wasn't permanent smartness. Like the fellow in the story, like, he got super smart for a little bit, and then went back to being a simpleton at the end.
So he just got to be smart for a brief point.
Smartness, and I think, if I remember correctly, he knew he was going to go back to being a dummy.
So he knew that dumbness was coming back to him.
If I recall correctly, but it was a pretty good story.
Is that like a full-on story, or is it a short story?
Probably like a novella, like not quite a full story, but not like the little short story, like kind of somewhere in between.
I'll have to get you to text me that. I'm always looking. I love to read.
I think they made a movie on that too. That was actually a pretty good movie too. But yeah, Flowers for Algernon was pretty good. They do a parody of it in It's Always Sunny. That was a funny episode.
I've probably seen
where
that.
Charlie, like where they told Charlie he got smart.
I missed that show. I want to go back and rewatch it. My girlfriend started watching it, and I was excited because I was like, "Oh, I love this show! Like, I'll watch this one with you." And I think she got a few episodes in, and it just wasn't for her. And I was like, "Damn!" She did like Community though, so
that was a good one.
I was cool with that.
That's one of my favorite shirts. Is the All Five Dances shirt.
So, if the average human lifespan was only 40 years, how would you live your life differently?
Now, if it's only 40 years, like once again, that's kind of loaded. Like, I would want
just simple answer.
Simple answer. I'd want to spend less time at work and more with time, like with friends, family, like doing things
with
that
me.
Yeah.
I don't know why I turned into Mario there for a second.
Kiss me, you fool. I would
yes,
want to spend, if money was not an obstacle. If it was an obstacle, man, that'd be really depressing. Like, man, I'm gonna work for 10, 15 years and I'm dead.
Yep. I mean, I think that, but see, I think the problem is, though, I understand the not wanting to work thing. I totally do, because life's too short to spend working.
I'm not trying to be a bummer.
But I just think that knowing you like nice things, and that would be your problem.
If money was not an obstacle, then
I've known people who just are not materialistic at all. And now if they were to say their perfect existence would be living off the land and not working, I'd be like, oh yeah, I think that'd be your dream life. But with you, I just don't think you would like not having a MacBook or AirPods or an iPhone or.
Oh, listen, I've had my MacBook for 3 years now. I've had my AirPods for 2 years. This is about 2-year-old iPhone by now.
So it's time to upgrade.
Exactly.
You couldn't do that without a decent job. But I totally get it, man. I mean, I understand
I don't.
The quarter life crisis of like, is this all life is just working?
You work.
I've been through that before. And the solution to that problem is in my hand right now.
It is.
Hot blue corn whiskey.
Your whiskey isn't corn and it ain't blue. See, now I got a voice for the radio, the singing voice.
Yes, you do. All right.
You got that talking voice, boy.
You've never heard me sing, so I don't want to hear it.
It's all falsetto. I've heard it.
Let's see. So for me, I would change. I mean, I would certainly, if I was only going to live 40 years, which I mean, for all I know, I might only live like 38 years. But I mean, like if the average lifespan was like, hey, by 40, you're probably going to be long dead, then I would certainly work less hours. But I mean, that would just mean more financial struggle. But I mean, it's not, I mean, you think you work 40. So let's do some quick math here. Let's just say you work an average of 40 hours a week.
That's about 2,080 hours a year.
So 40 hours a week times, we'll say an average of, let's say times 52.
2080.
40 hours times 52. That means you're spending 2,080 hours a year working. So let's just say you live to be 40. I guess in this scenario, you would start working around 10. So let's multiply that by 30. That's 62,400 hours you'd spend working. Divide that by 24 hours in a day.
Some asshole some money.
That means you would work 2,600 days of your life. What percentage of 40 would that be? What math would I do to do that?
What are you trying to do?
So you would work 2,600 days of your life. Let's see. Hold on.
So if you times that, divide that by.
So it'd be like 7 years of your life. So seven, and my math might be a little off, but you would
roughly like 20% to a quarter. You'd be.
I tell you this, I would only be part time.
Yeah, like I said, maybe a 4-hour workday instead.
Oh, but yeah. So I think I would definitely. I think we would. I don't know that we would live any differently, to be honest, because if we live to be like right now, we think the average age is like 75, 70, maybe 80. It's somewhere between 70 and 80. So we know that. And when you really think of the grand scope of like time and how long the universe has existed and all of that, like that's such a small amount of time.
A speck of a speck.
we still live the way that we live. So honestly, if life were to be an average, end point of like 40 years, I really feel like we'd probably do the same stuff. We just die sooner. But I would like to think we would spend that time doing more things.
That's what I would like to think too, is that if I knew I only had 40 years, I'd be like, after I'm not spend 60 hours a week checking boxes on a electronic chart.
What is the meaning of peace to you?
The meaning of peace. I think peace is like more like accepting one's situation. Like you are fine with where you are at.
I'm gonna have to say that's probably not. I think peace is not wanting for anything in a sense. I mean, you're happy with where you are. Yeah. You accept where you are, and you're okay. Well, you also have to be okay with it. Yeah, because you could accept that your life sucks, and that don't mean that you're okay with it. But you accept your life for what it is, and
you're fine with it,
and you're cool with it. Yeah,
so be it.
That's that's a good that works for me. If you could live one day of your life over again, so you can just pick any day of the days you've lived to relive, which day would that be and why?
Well, that answer would certainly make my wife mad.
Well, then maybe do you second.
No, because we talked about this the other night, about when you have felt really strong for someone, even though you broke up, there was that time you felt just so it has lit a spark in you and just set you ablaze. My very first girlfriend, dorky little high schooler me, got a girl to agree to date me.
I paid her in doing her homework.
No, she was a hell of a lot smarter than me. And that's why I don't think it worked out.
Maybe she just didn't maybe she knew you were smart and she didn't like your lack of confidence.
Oh, no, she thought I was a dummy when it was all said and done.
Oh, well, okay then.
But that's how I felt when the breakup happened. But when she agreed to date me that was probably one of the biggest highs I've ever had in my entire life. I don't think I've ever felt not sort of love, but just the infatuation just lit a fire under my ass. Man, I was just complete bliss. That yeah. But yeah, that day.
So you would relive that feeling again?
Oh, yes.
What day would I relive? I feel like there's so many. It really is hard to pick just one. But for me, it's probably going to be... It's cliche to say. I feel like I'm just a walking cliche.
First love, though, my God, what a tremendous feeling.
Well, it's the first time you experience. You know what I mean? It's almost like the first time you try a drug.
Yeah, it's holy moly.
Because our whole lives we've known what love is through our parents and this completely.
But until you experience it yourself, holy, yeah.
But when you say, and that's why we fall hard for them, and that's why we crash and burn so badly when we break up, because it's the first time we've ever felt that way for another person, and then when somebody takes that, love's not reciprocated anymore, or it's not good enough, it just crushes you. I think we've all. That's the thing. I love this. I don't know it exactly. I'm paraphrasing, but it's before you judge somebody, you got to realize everybody that everybody in the world has lost someone, had someone important to them pass away at some point. Everybody has had a broken heart. It's everybody, a lot of people, we go through these things. It's human. But when you're going through it, you feel like you're the only person to ever feel this way.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yep.
I mean, you feel like there's no way no one out there possibly understands how you feel. And it's don't get me wrong, everybody is different, but at the end of the day, heartbreak is something that most human beings experience in their life. Especially when it comes to young first love, because you never really forget your first love, you know what I mean? You move on, you find someone who's much better for you, and you're in love, and you wouldn't change a thing. But if that first young love, it's like I said, it's kind of like the first time you get high or something. You never are able to replicate that first time again. I think mine would be probably the day my daughter was born. Again, cliche, but that was just such a cool feeling of like holding my kid and being like, man, I'm a dad now. Like I am responsible for this little human being's life.
A part of you was once in my balls.
Don't talk to me like that. You were once in my balls. I don't care if you were the fastest one or the strongest swimmer. Not to make, if anyone's had someone drown in their life, this following joke, I do apologize. But it's like, isn't the irony of someone drowning for not being a strong swimmer when they were the strongest swimmer to make it to the egg? Oh, so is there ever a time where giving up makes sense?
Yes. Like I totally like am for like that sunk fallacy, like where like you feel like you put so much into it, like you got to keep going. But like I'm fine. Like if I know something's at a loss, like I'm fine just backing up and just calling it.
Well, that whole never give up thing is not realistic. It doesn't apply forever. Like, yes, don't give up on your dreams, but there are times in life where you just have to know when to throw in the towel.
Don't want to call it quits.
I mean, if you're trying to get with a girl who does not want to be with you, it's a good idea at a certain point to call it quits. Because that's where you cross that midline from crushing to stalking, and so there are plenty. I think that
gamblers. I think that happens a lot with people that like that gamble or play scratchers. They put so much into it.
Very true.
They're eventually they eventually going to win, but they don't. They end up, pissing away their life savings on scratchers or stuff like that.
Very true. I also think that even sometimes in career, if you're working a career that makes you feel unfulfilled, and I'm not talking about you. I mean, I think what you do, you like. It's just the conditions.
Put my notice again.
No, you did not.
I did not.
No, you didn't.
I just took your advice hard. I sent my boss a text. F you, I quit again.
But I mean, I think that it's okay to sometimes. I think anytime you're not fulfilled, it's okay to call it quits. Whether that be relationship, job,
work, what have you,
hobby, whatever. Like it just depends also on how bad you want something. So here we go. This is a loaded question, but it's a simple one. What's been on your mind lately?
What's been on my mind is like how the hell am I going to keep doing this? Like working so much. Like I know I got to, but like just like when you actually sit there and think like how am I going to keep doing this day in day out?
I thought that was going to change.
It is. Because like I said, I got new.
Because if you rescinded your resignation and it's not going to change, I do not understand. I know that there aren't, with your profession, there really aren't. It's not like there's a ton of places you can go to do what you do nearby. But with that said, I mean, if they're not going to, fix the things that are ailing you, then I just don't see why it's worth continuing to put yourself through that. Because a year ago, you were a happy SOB. If someone was to ask me, name the happiest friend that you have, it would have 100% been Matt Whitaker. If somebody was like, of your friends group, who's the happy, fun one? And yes, we think of Stone as the party guy, but no, I would have 100% said Matt Whitaker. Like he's always in an upbeat party mood. You can't hurt his feelings. He's down for whatever and never complains, just happy to be there. And so like if they're not going to change, and you're valuable. So if they're not willing to change the things that are making you unhappy, I just don't think it's good for you.
There will be like it's there should be soon is the hope here. But
are they going to give you more monies?
Haven't heard on that that one yet, so I got to get on my boss on that. They better.
They better pay you that FU radiology money.
They better.
And it's not radiology though, right? Is that technically?
Well, it's under the radiology brands. Technically, it's not even radiology. It's just sound waves that we just somehow got lumped into with the rest of them.
Now, did you go to school for radiology?
Yes, radiology and ultrasound.
And is that normally together, or did you take like?
Oh, they are completely separate entities. Back in the day, it was on the job training because it was such a new science. That it eventually became its own discipline. But yeah, back in the day, you saw a lot of X-ray techs that would cross train into ultrasound.
Okay, so you decided to take them both because
yes.
Did you have to have one to have the other, or did you just?
It's recommended. You should like to have X-ray before ultrasound, just so you have some experience working in radiology. ultrasound is a more advanced imaging modality. So it kind of helps having that base, even though they're two separate forms of imaging. It's like you have some experience in radiology to kind of get the workflow and the dynamics in that department.
So what's been on your mind lately is how are you going to keep
how am I going to keep doing this day in, day out? When do you get a break?
When we take vacation. How much paid time off do you still have left?
300 hours. Well, I was.
Does it roll over?
Yes.
I mean,
yes. It.
So next year though, will you have the 300, but then you'll get more?
Yes.
Matthew.
And if one bucket gets full, then it just goes into sick time. I don't think there's a cap for sick time.
Well, then Matthew, the solution is simple. Take your damn time off.
But now let me give you another hurdle that my company gives its employees. So we have just enough employees to where as long as nobody ever gets sick or takes time off, then it works.
So what do they do when you're on vacation? Is there someone that fills in for you, or do they just do ultrasounds?
It's just going to pile up till I get back.
Man, they really need to get their shit together.
I'm telling you, they give you just enough people to where if as long as no one gets sick or wants to take a vacation, then the system works.
So what would be the solution? Would it be having another ultrasound person in there who can do what you do? Would that make your life easier?
Yes.
And have they just not? Has no one applied?
Like I said, I got 2 brand new gals this year, and I got 2 more coming that they're flexible positions. So if one of us needs off, and then there's no gap. I was complaining hey, I need some I guess there's no contingencies. If something fails, there's no backup plan. Today, I was talking to the gals in my front office. One of the gals has such bad laryngitis. She's have you ever been so sick when you talk your girlfriend the other day she sounded so hoarse.
Yeah, I've had that a couple times. Yeah. Especially working in radio and broadcast.
Yeah.
And using my
your
voice so much.
Your vocal cords get so inflamed you can't even talk. No, she was sick as a dog, and her vocal cords were so inflamed, she couldn't even talk, and she has to answer the phone and talk to people all day, and couldn't do it, and she still showed up, because if she wasn't there,
there was no one else. There was no one that could pull.
No one else to fill in. It is a really messed up situation that they put a lot of employees there.
I know it's not. It's way easier said than done. I know that, but Matthew, we've got to find you some investors, and we need your own.
If I had my own department, if I could run my own, just my own shop, it'd be so much better.
Well, I hope that they get the people they need, because that sounds like that would be the solution to a lot of your issues. Being able to take that time off. You had 300 hours, man. It'd be dude, 300 hours, so 40, that's 8. I mean, you've got months of time off.
I could take 2 months off completely and be just fine.
I'd be dude, with that much paid time off, it's and I thought my company was good with paid time off, but it's with that much paid time off, if someone could stand in for you, I mean, that would help you tremendously. Just you could take a week off here or there.
That's one, these 2 new gals I got coming on. That's the idea. Listen, I got to get some time away from here, or I'm going to lose my damn mind.
Even if, it don't even always mean you got to go on vacation. You could just legit take a week
day off, yeah.
Sleep in each day, stay up late watching shows you want to watch, get done with things around the house you want to do, work on hobbies, go hiking. I mean, just being able to take that time you've accumulated off, I think would work wonders for the things that are giving you so much trouble right now. So the solution is this. You have a twin brother, a identical twin brother. I think we need to bring him down and just swap him with you sometimes.
Hey, I think you could swing that.
Just be Rob, I'm going to need you to go in, wear these glasses.
Listen,
only difference is Rob's got a really deep voice compared to yours. So you'd be Rob, I'm going to need you to bring that up about 4 octaves. Hey, Siri.
Hey, Siri. Hey, Siri. Why did you make me sound like Goofy?
I get I have a deep, weird-sounding voice, but I don't think I would say, hey, Siri.
Hey Siri, yes. Man.
So the solution to your problem is going to be take that damn paid time off. And you know what? Just take it off. I mean, if you have to make up the work when you get back, you have to make it up. But just take the time off. At least then you'll be refreshed and ready to embrace it.
So yeah, I agree that taking time off would be nice. I just I got to have someone to be able to to cover my spot while I'm gone. Because let me tell you, another thing that has been so hard this year too. We have had some of the sickest mofos I have ever seen.
What commonalities are you seeing? Is there a common sickness that you're seeing more of than normal?
Not really a common thing. Just people that are just very critically ill. They need urgent medical services, or they will die, or be seriously maimed or harmed from it.
And see, that's the difference too, man. Your job, it's if you don't do it right, someone could die.
Yes.
And if I don't do my job right, one of two things happens, because I have multiple jobs. But the main two things happens is that they don't like the song I just played, and they have to have the inconvenience of turning the dial, or I size their equipment incorrectly and they're not quite as cool or warm as they'd like to be. Whereas, when you get something wrong, it could be someone's life on the line. So, I mean, I'm sure that comes with a tremendous amount of stress that, a lot of regular jobs don't experience.
Yes. Yep.
Just call me Dr. Justin. I'm here we're going to work you through this, Matt. My diagnosis, PTO. I'm writing you a prescription for PTO, my man. Take two of these.
The diagnosis, PTSD, the treatment, PTO.
Here is some PTO. Take two of these and call me in the morning.
Heck, I'd be even fine to have TO.
And also, too, it don't even have to be weeks.
Don't pay me. Just let me go. Just let me go home.
Well, I mean, I also think, too, it don't even have to be weeks. Just take, like you were talking about, if you take a week, you have this mountain of stuff. Well, screw a week. Just take a day every now and again. You got all that paid time off. Just take off a day, and then you can just catch up tomorrow.
Oh, man. I wish it were that easy. If it were that easy, I would have already done it.
Well, once you get these gals trained up, hopefully
that's the plan.
All right, so we got time for one or two more, and then we'll wrap this up. So, what do you miss most about the past? I know we talked about the whole ex, but I mean, this doesn't have to. This is, this is not one. What's something that you miss the most about the past?
So, I know, my fond childhood memories is when all of our, me and the boys would play on the GameCube, all of us on the same little CRT TV. Playing Smash Bros. Or Mario Kart.
Yeah, God, those. I mean, I didn't know you lived half a world away then.
Yeah.
But I mean, those are great memories of being young and just
dicking around on the GameCube with the boys.
4 hours that night felt like an eternity of playing games with your balling with your bros.
Yes. And then, man, we spent so much time playing games and whatnot on the trampoline.
Did you wrestle on the trampoline?
We wrestled.
All right, I get that you're trying to win, but why's your hand in my pants, Billy?
But yeah, I miss those days, just where you just feel like you had just unlimited time to just hang out and just have fun and have no other worries.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, man, I love those memes on Facebook. And I say this as someone who spends a lot of time outdoors and who likes a lot of, not video game related things. I laugh at those memes where they're like, hunting because memories ain't made on an Xbox.
I don't know.
It's no, I don't agree with that, because I've made lots of great memories on PlayStations and Xbox. Halo, man. For a while there, every Sunday we would go to my friend Cameron's house, and it was 4 or 5 of us every single Sunday in our late teens, early 20s, and we would just play Halo for 2 or 3 hours and drink Mountain Dews, and I made lots of memories doing that. You know what I mean? It does not have to be out in the, and I mean, I say that again, as an avid hiker, as an avid camper, an outdoors person, I say that, no, I do think memories are made with video games. I mean, I certainly think you should get off of them and go experience the world.
Things like, but those were definitely fond memories for me.
Playing which I don't know if you're a little bit younger than me, but back in the day, GoldenEye was a big thing.
Yeah. I was there for that era.
I mean, that was great, man. Like you said, Smash Bros. And the Super Mario Party.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, those were great. Mario Kart. Gosh, Call of Duty, man. I've made some great memories playing. Actually, the thing is the people that don't play it don't understand. I have friends across the country, up in Oregon, in California, some in England that I have never met, but I have spent loads of time with them playing like Call of Duty and stuff. We've laughed. We've had conversations these.
So many just like of our own inside jokes, just like just very memorable, funny things we've said. Like that's going to stick with you for life.
I mean, to others, they're just a voice on a headset, but like they were legit friends, people that I genuinely enjoyed their presence. So, no, I certainly think memories can be made on video games. I think the thing I miss the most about the past is something that you said. It's not the video game specifically, but it's just feeling like you have all the time in the world.
No, all the time and nothing to worry about.
Like in the summer, we might, I might get up and meet with my cousin and my friends, and we're on the four-wheelers heading down to go fish. And like, as an adult now, I'm thinking, all right, it's 8 a.m., so I got like 3 hours, and I need to do this real quick. None of that. Like you had all day, and it felt like that day lasted months. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of what I miss, is just the not really understanding time at that age. I do miss that because I can't count how many times a week I say, God, if there were only like 5 more hours in a day. And it's funny because time's not real. It's a man-made,
it's a construct made by man.
Like just to measure. Because like time doesn't pass. Our cells break down. You know what I mean? Like the times. Oh, but yeah, I think if I had to pick the one thing I miss the most about the past, other than saying like my grandma, I mean, she's something I really miss about my past. But I miss just the innocence of like not being on a schedule, except for when you made All-Stars, man. When you play baseball and you make All-Stars. Yeah. Your whole summer was gone, at least until you lost out. It was like, I'm going to go ride four-wheeler. You can't do that. You have practice tonight. You got to save your energy. Mom, I'm not a Saiyan here. Like, just because I go out fishing for a little while doesn't mean I'm going to show up to practice tonight and sleep on the bench. But otherwise. All right, and now here is the final question. Actually, I'm going to give you 2, and I'm going to let you pick which one you want to answer. So we're going to do one of these 2. I'm going to let you pick. Question number 1. If you had to move 3,000 miles away, what one thing would you miss the most? Or what good comes from suffering? Which one of those questions would you like to answer?
If I had to pick one, I would probably say the one that I think would be the most enjoyable to talk about would be the suffering one.
All right, so there you go. What good comes from suffering?
I think you learn more about yourself. Like if you suffer, like you, I guess you kind of get a more fine-tuned for what you're about.
That is a damn good answer. Because we've talked about, I think maybe even you and I have talked about that. Everybody goes through things. Everybody goes through midlife crisis. Everybody goes through like work crisis. Everybody goes through, but like the thing that defines us as a person is not what we go through. It's how we deal with what we're going through, and I think and I think you learn, like you said, you learn a lot about yourself. And the thing is, from suffering, you learn how not to suffer that way again. You know what I mean? So like you shoot your shot.
If you do like it, then you just keep doing it and become just a masochist.
Right. Then you just enjoy the pain. But I mean, like you learn like, okay, I tried this. It failed miserably. I'm not going to do that again. And you spare yourself future pain in that arena. You know what I mean? So it's the way I look at it. But I like your answer. I mean, it definitely fits. But yeah, so we got through, let's see, how many did we get through on that one? It's funny, we were going to start this thing off and call it like 3 questions.
Yeah, no, it's easy to bang through some of these, so we...
And we actually got through 16 of them. I'm trying to write them all down so that I can have them for future podcasts and so I don't have to try to read that off of a phone or a monitor. That was so much better having these written down. But yeah, Matt's wife is now off work, so I'm sure he's ready to get home to his schnook'em-wook'ems. So with that said, once again, Matthew, thank you so very much for being on the podcast with me again.
Pleasure to be here.
Oh, no, sir. The pleasure is all mine.
You leave me in intrigue. want more.
Paint me intrigued. Don't forget to check us out on Patreon, and we have not posted on Patreon for about a week or two now. To the patrons, I do apologize, but I promise your Patreon dollars are helping keep podcasts like this one and Weird Wednesday and any Walking Dead cast we do alive. Because one day, some of this equipment's going to go out. It's going to need to be replaced. And thank God for the patrons, we'll be able to replace it. So check that out. And we also do have extra content on there. And in fact, I do want to get you on a Patreon cast again soon, Matt. Just so you can go completely unfiltered and rant and rave and say all the things you really want to say about your job without worrying about the repercussions. I don't really think you're worried about the repercussions anyway. But you just care even less
what
when
you know. Fire me?
I swear I'll leave again.
I tried quitting and they said no. They turned down my resignation.
That doesn't sound legal.
We are unfortunately having to turn down your resignation. We're sorry.
We're just going to have to keep you a little while longer.
Can you do that? Yes.
Well, Matt, I hope that you have a very Merry Christmas.
You too. I hope you guys do too.
To those listening, if you're listening after Christmas, I hope you had a very Merry Christmas. If you're listening before, I hope you have a very Merry Christmas. But don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share it with people that you like. Even share it with people you don't like. I don't care. I'm Justin.
Matty Dubs.
And we're the Podcasting Dead.
Now kiss me, you fool.
Woo!